Over the last week, I've been mainly focused on the whole title and artwork side of things. I've really been focused on this as I'm happy with the selection of tracks I have finished. I have over 29 tracks that have all been mixed, structured, and mastered, so I really need to spend a bit more time just making sure that the artwork is ready and that I'm happy with that. And then that once the artwork and the title is all blended in together, I feel like then the project's ready to be released. I've just got to work on the websites and stuff. So I have been spending a lot of time looking at the titles and speaking with friends on Skype and just trying to work out an overall finished idea. Really, I mean, I had a couple of possible suggestions. We spoke about that probably a month ago, and I just decided that okay, I would leave it, focus on the music side of things, and then when the music's finished, then really spend time focusing on it. So I spent a lot of time thinking about possible names, and after everyone agreeing in the group conversation that I was speaking to sort of get feedback, we've come to sort of agreement that transitions for the title is the most liked name rather than the possible ones were trappositions, which was a play on the word transitions. But I think it just trapposition defined me just to doing trap, and I don't feel that's what my music is. I think my music's more than that. It's lots of influences. So transitions what we stuck with. I spent a great deal of time just listening anyway to new artist projects, but just looking at their artwork and trying to understand what makes their artwork stand out, what makes it different. Through that, for me personally, I've found that for me, I like the fact that some artists and producers' projects or albums have a picture that's relatable to their life or is them on that represents them. And I feel it's a good representation of all the tracks. Really, the artwork it looks good. So for me, I've taken that into consideration and thought about what pictures I've taken myself as well. I've chosen a couple of pictures. I'll just quickly go onto my Twitter. I've chosen a couple of pictures and I've sent them to a graphic designer I've worked with previously. So I'm just going to skip this blank bit. And I've worked with him previously, and as you can see, he sent me. This is me sending him the two picture choices that I had taken when I was on holiday. So he's worked on that. He said just doing it now. I've told him name transitions. He's working on it. This is a work in progress. He always sends you a slightly lower quality picture. Well, not slightly, but it's slightly different to what you're actually going to get. And that's to stop people just running off of it without paying. So we spoke about it. As you can see down there, I'm not going to show sort code and everything, but I've paid and he's going to send me the final version through. That's just the near final. So yeah, that's a conversation between us talking about the artwork side of things. Personally, I'm really happy with it. I think out of it, I've almost got a logo as well because I like the our friend bit just up there, and I feel that looks quite cool. And the whole picture, this is my picture as well. It makes it even more personal for me, and I feel like I've had a bit more of an input into the design, into the artwork design of things. So that's how I've done the artwork on the project so far. I'd say the project's ready to be released. I just need to get the final version of the artwork through, and then start working out. Well, I've already worked out the track listings and spoke to my friend Giles, and we've talked about it, and he's given me feedback about it. The feedback is actually added into the feedback section in my WordPress. Also, I've been really focused on making sure that the mixdowns were good, so that the master worked well. I think personally, it's worked really well. The mastering process of things is like sort of, it's I found it to be quite helpful because I've learnt a lot through it, and also through learning loads, I've also found out that there's a good mastering application out there. eMastered really helped me to master all my tracks from FMP. After I'd done that, I was obviously happy, so I then worked on the artwork, the title, speaking to peers and just getting the suggestions for titles. I've spoke to my friends. I've got a good name for my project, which is Transitions. The artwork is, I know what the artwork's going to look like. I'm happy with it. I'm just waiting for the final clean version. I then need to speak to Reverb Nation and other websites and speak about aggregating fees and how I can get my music on all platforms available. Next week, I will document the process of me responding to more feedback, such as this week. i.e. responding to Giles's feedback about the kicks in track and that we should change it, well, I should change, and we both worked on the kicks, and the end result was successful because it sounded better than what was originally there. Next week I hope to have more feedback on the overall finished project, and I hopefully will be able to show you myself publishing it to Reverb Nation to be able to go out on iTunes